Welcome to Crankworx Whistler, where for over the last 2 decades, the most defining moments in the sport of slopestyle have gone down on this very hill, Alan.
Absolutely, Cam, and the start list brings another level of excitement. We have a small crop of first-timers here. They're gonna feel the energy of the boneyard for the very first time and try to take glory. And we also have some legends who have finished down in the bottom as #1.
This is gonna be so good. It is Rhapsody slopestyle, and it starts right now.
Are you kidding me? The Godziek! Brandon Silva has landed the flipper. Say hello to your new leader.
Final drop, suicide, no-hitter. Oh, 360 downside tailwhip. Welcome, slopestyle fans. Today is the day. We are so excited. The crowd is gathering in full force to Whistler's Boneyard for another big day of slopestyle. It's been tradition for over 2 decades, and we got the top riders in the world here coming at you live from the Crankworx YouTube channel, where you can find all the action from the Crankworx World Tour throughout the entire season. While you're here on our YouTube channel, you might as well hit the like button, subscribe to us. We're also going to be hitting you with some polls. So if you contribute to the polls, you answer some of our questions, we'll be picking a fan to win some exclusive Crankworx merch. We got a t-shirt and some socks to send your way. So answer those questions we'll be hitting you with, and also just tell us what you're thinking in the chat box. We may even reply or put your comment up on the board. I'm Cam McCall alongside Alan Cook. We have a third member of our team out there at the top of the course, kind of feeling the atmosphere, reading the room. I'm sure things are starting to get a little bit more energized up there, Katie Winton.
Oh wow, it's getting electric already. The sun has arrived, the crowds have arrived, and the riders are excited. We've got some returning riders. You can tell that they're feeling the nerves, but the youngsters, my gosh. Zoe Witwicki, her smile, I've never seen someone smiling so much. This means so much to them to be here at this iconic event, so we're in for a special show.
Thanks, Katie. Yeah, that really is the story right now. We've got those veterans out there who have tasted victory in the iconic Finish Corral here in the Whistler Village, and then we have those youngsters who are feeling this for the first time, and I'm telling you what, they're getting loud down there right now. If you're new to slopestyle competition, here's how the format's gonna go. It's pretty simple. It's very much the same thing we've been doing for over 2 decades. These riders have worked really hard to earn their invitation here, and we're gonna give each of them 2 runs with their best run counting toward their overall ranking. We're up here at the top of this big gigantic tower right now, actually for the first time ever, right alongside the judges. 3 judges plus a head judge. Those judges are former competitors and just passionate slopestyle fans. And we're gonna kick things off with the women's field. Let's take a look at our start list for today's competition. We've got the overall leader in the World Tour right now, going to be dropping last, Shealen Reno. And look, 2 more to drop before we have Shealen taken to the course, Alan.
Yeah, Zoe Witwicki, one of those new fresh faces out here, ready to soak up that energy that the boneyard has to give. Really good call on Katie. You know, I like to hear that she's happy, she's stoked. There's a lot of pressure out here, and those new faces that don't like crack under that pressure and embrace it, that's where you can make your mark on this evolution of slopestyle here with Rhapsody.
We're gonna kick things off with the women, and then we will work our way into the men's field. But once we start, there's no stopping Rhapsody slopestyle. Here we go. So first year of a new structure for the world of slopestyle mountain biking. We're calling it the Slopestyle Super League. Basically, instead of an overall series, we're talking about everything culminating to a world championship event, which will be the next event that will take place at Mont Saint and Quebec. So the entire season leading up to this point has been all about earning points, trying to move your name up those rankings in the world overall leaderboard. And after today's competition, the top 3 riders in the world from the season so far in the men's category, and the top 2 from the women, will punch their ticket all the way to Mont Saint Anne to the World Championships. And any rider who does not have a top 3 or top 2 after today will go to what we're calling the playoffs, which is going to be held at Silver Star in short order, and that will absolutely be just a gunfight out there trying to earn your spot into that World Championship. So think of it more like Stanley Cup or Super Bowl this year. It's a little bit different.
Yeah, so interesting to have involved in this sport. We were talking to some of the athletes earlier in the week, and they're kind of only just adjusting to this new format and realizing, okay, it's not an overall. We need these points. We're going to pre-qualify. There's the playoffs. So it's a whole new format. We're all kind of learning it together, and it's making the competition really exciting.
Yeah, I mean, there's stakes. You know, there's always stakes out here. Most importantly, just the bragging rights of winning a slopestyle competition on the iconic Boneyard here in the Whistler Village, the birthplace of the Crankworx World Tour. But let's check in with our leaderboard right now for the women. The overall World Tour standings look like this.
Yeah, Shealen Reno up top, the former winner of the overall in previous years, really capitalizing on her ability to stay smooth, stay consistent, really solid on her tricks. We see Harriet Burbage-Smith and Alma Wigberg and Robin Gooms not competing today, so they're in the top 5. Who's got the opportunity to move their way up? Those young, fresh faces, and especially Zoe Witwicki.
Yeah, a lot of opportunity right here for the youngster out of Calgary, Alberta, Canada, Zoe Witwicki. She took a win at a smaller event on the FMB World Tour just a couple weeks ago. She was first at the Northwest Tune-Up Slopestyle in Bellingham. She was second at the Squamish Slopestyle just down the road here in the Sea to Sky corridor. And she's been working so hard in practice to piece together the ability to ride this course top to bottom. Well, Zoe Witwicki is going to get things started for us here, Alan.
Nice tuck no-hander right there. Solid start to this contest. Nice little floater off of the cannon log, having to keep speed. This track is one of the most important ones to keep your speed up in order to get all the way through. These gigantic features right here, up and over the whale tail. She's smooth. This is so important just to get that first run in, you know. Oh, hard landing there. So this is where it gets technical on this quarter pipe turnaround. She's going to have to take some pedals, make sure she gets that backside, stay smooth up on, and then off the surgeon's table into this huge drop right there. Hold on.
Yeah, she was almost getting bucked off the bike there and landing pretty deep off of the final drop. I'll tell you what, for those of you watching right now at the comfort of your couch who are passionate mountain bikers, think of this Rhapsody slopestyle course as the most technical trail you could drop into. If you could see these riders working so hard throughout the week to learn the speeds and figure out where to pump to be able to, you know, generate enough speed for some of these harder to clear features. This was a long process for Zoe, able to put together a top to bottom run here on this course.
Yeah, so cool to have her come in today and really lock in that top to bottom run and break the ice. I mean, making it to the bottom is such a relief for any of these riders, no matter what they do between the top and bottom. But, you know, she's not really a stranger to competing at the highest level. She represents Canada on the FIS Ski World Tour in freestyle skiing, picked up mountain biking as a crossover, and really now at the top of the game.
So it's great to see Zoe able to, you know, get us kicked off on the right foot here at Rhapsody Slopestyle, but also, you know, she's going to be earning those valuable points and hopefully finding herself in either the top 2 in the world rankings once today is over, or, you know, giving herself some momentum into the playoffs at Silver Star coming up in a couple weeks. Waiting on the scores here for Zoe Witwicki. It's going to be a 75.75 here to start our day.
Yeah, it's a solid mark. The judges, I think, rewarding her a little bit high on that. I know we didn't see tricks off of many of those jumps, but she was landing high. She was keeping her momentum. It didn't look like a struggle from top to bottom, and that definitely counts on the score.
Yeah, I'm glad she muscled through that final landing off the drop as well. But we're seeing a visual right now of Johanna Nussbaumer, the German competitor who's been on a tear recently, just last weekend, taking the silver medal in Groningen, Netherlands at the Red Bull District Ride. She won the second stop of the World Tour down in Rotorua, New Zealand, and it was a dominant win as well. She was on another level down there in Rotorua.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, she's really come into her own, locking in those big combos and flips and spins. So I'm excited here. What do we got, Cam?
Oh, it's going to be good. She started things off with a backflip double bar spin.
Backflip bar to bar on that first set. Nice suicide no-hander off the cannon. So, man, Johanna is definitely starting off strong. Tuck no-hander to bar spin, double combo right there.
She's killing it.
A little bit of a tweak up, gets a toboggan out. I really like to see Johanna attacking this course landing hard right there, but aggressively pumping, keeping her momentum up. Get some pedals in.
The pedals into the final step.
See if we can finish strong here for Johanna Nussbaumer.
Missed what that one was right there. But really smart choice there, landing low on that hip up above the quarter pipe, and made the decision to just sort of ride and race her up into the surgeon's table to have enough speed and make it all the way to the bottom. That right there is huge.
So when we were talking about her gold medal in Rotorua to start the season, we said she's on another level, and she didn't make a liar out of us. As soon as she dropped in with that backflip double bar spin, you got to see what we're talking about here. She is the future of women's slopestyle, and she backed it up the whole way down. The tuck to late bar, come on.
Yeah, the extension on the tuck was not saving anything for later, but still had time to get a set of bar spin off.
Yeah, with how big and extended that tuck was, I thought that was gonna be it. Then she squeezed that late bar.
Yeah, just kind of the way she's attacking the berms and the rollers.
Johanna, that was a spectacular run down there. You came out swinging. Walk me through that one.
Thank you.
So dropping in, backflip double bar spin right out of the gate. We knew you meant business, but talk to me about that tuck no hander to late bar. How did you find time to squeeze that bar spin in before touching down to the landing?
I don't know, I think it's all about routine. I did this trick so much at home, and yeah, I knew there's time for a bar, so yeah, send it.
Well, the training has been paying off. I can't wait to see what your score will be. Congratulations on a great run.
Thank you.
Showing some veteran skills right there, being able to adjust, and notice she's got time for a bar still, so why not?
Oh yeah, we're into the 90s. 91.25 is the score for Johanna Nussbaumer, rewarded for a run packed with technical combos. Man, that was good. Well, next rider to drop here. Currently number 3 in the world, your 2024 world champion. I'm talking about Shealen Reno. Shealen coming from that BMX race background. Started the season super strong this year with a 3rd at the 2nd stop of the World Tour in Rotorua, and we've seen her kind of push her limits. We know her for her upright combos like that no-footed can we just saw, but we're seeing her rotate as well this season.
Yeah, definitely. Shealen has one of her strongest points is she's so consistent on getting a trick off of almost every obstacle, and those points just sort of add up on the way down.
Well, the big story also was the fact that she took the win at the first event, Christchurch, New Zealand. And here we go. Let's see if she can carry the momentum. Your number 3 ranked rider in the world, Shealen Reno, on course. Oh!
Getting that pendulum off, a little bit of a foot slip, but she's able to recover.
Yeah, how did she
Getting a
keep
tuck
going?
no-hander off of the cannon. Really good recovery so far. Tuck no-hander to X up. That's where Shealen really shines.
Death by 1,000 paper cuts right here.
Down off the whale tail, keeping it smooth. Super important to have momentum. Oh, Cases right there. Is she going to be able to recover? She used to race BMX, 16 years old. She was the world champion. So she knows how to get speed when she needs it. Putting in those cranks, X up, off of the surgeon table. So obviously not what Shealen had planned from top to bottom, but able to get to the bottom, something to build on for run 2.
Yeah, when you're comparing Johanna Nussbaumer and Shealen Reno right now, Shealen's going to have to lean on her strengths of being able to trick everything and push through some of those little errors that would be the end of the run for a rider who didn't have as much determination. She does not have as technical tricks as Johanna does, so she needs to absolutely squeeze something in on every feature. Do you think she did enough?
Yeah, there's that no-foot can over one way, back over the other way. Started out solid, but then landed a little low and had kind of a pedal slip on that first obstacle, and it just sort of, she could never really shake it, and then it came down to that hip there where speed is so important, and right there, that's where the BMX racing is coming in handy and got her to the bottom.
Shealen, way to go. A lot of determination pushing through a couple of the bobbles down there. So we love to see that. We know that's your strength. What's it like dropping in after you see so many technical tricks from Johanna, knowing that you got to lean on your own strengths? What's the strategy coming into today?
Oh yeah, it's amazing to see the girls just throw down, and I just want to just follow them up and do it for all the women and girls out there.
We love your technical combos, and we got to commend you for pushing through a couple of those sideways landings. We know we can always count on you for that. Can't wait to see what the score is going to be.
Yeah, it's going to be sick. Thanks.
Yeah, Shealen wanting a solid finish here. Let's see what she's got.
There we go.
84 right there, ranked in second place. So that's going to carry into hopefully a top 2 seeding for the World Championships, but we got a long way to go.
So a quick run 1 field for our women's category right now. We got to give credit to Zoe, Shealen, and Johanna for piecing this course together throughout the week. It has been quite a process. We've been watching them work their way through a quirky course full of opportunities for tricks. We saw Johanna Nussbaumer capitalize on those opportunities. She is at the top of the leaderboard with a 91.25. We will have run 1 for the men coming up after the break. Don't go away. Christchurch. Rhapsody Slopestyle is brought to you by Whistler Mountain Bike Park.
Welcome to New Zealand.
One of the best events all year.
It's perfect. Oh man, to the moon. Conditions are dialed, the riders are dialed. Let's do this. Game on. It is on into the hot seat.
This is going to be insane.
She'll be able to keep rolling. Perfection. Whoa, that was perfect. And oh my God. Oh, bro. Oh my God, he goes so far.
There it is. Yes.
Shut the front door.
Rhapsody Slopestyle, we just saw run 1 for the women, run 1 for the men coming up. Another iconic year here in the Whistler Boneyard. The crowd is gathered, the energy is high, and you know this competition always delivers the goods. This course this year, 9 trickable features, a lot of airtime on tap. I think we're gonna see a battle out there. We've seen riders really practicing maintaining speed in certain areas, figuring out how much to brake in other areas. So those riders with the technical bike skills are going to triumph out here. Alan, what do you think are some of the crux features top to bottom here at our Boneyard course this year?
Well, the cannon log is something that kind of is known as a mainstay here on the Boneyard course, but look at that cheese wedge right there. That's what's got this, you know, got me hyped on this event right here, or this obstacle. That's gonna give these riders a lot more lift, a lot more boost. I think it's gonna open up double backflips. It's gonna open up a lot more for these riders, but it is super technical without that transition to get the rotation going.
Yeah, it's tough to see with this shot right here, but that is so much taller and steeper than what we typically see. It's mind-blowing, and it really does open up the door for a lot more tricks on tap. And how about this? This could end up really being a make or break feature, believe it or not.
Yeah, so this right here is just a little quarter pipe hip turnaround right before the final obstacle, the surgeon's table. Why it's so important is because it's more based as a turnaround, but it opens up an opportunity for riders to score extra points. Another option to do a trick. We've seen flares, we've seen tail whips, we've seen all kinds of things, but you gotta land perfect because speed into the surgeon's table is an issue right now, and you gotta be on full throttle.
Yep, with an inconsequential feature like a quarter pipe, you don't want to mess it up because you want to cap that run off of that on-off right there. And we've seen some iconic things go down there. The riders seem to push their flat drop game a little bit more in this competition than in others.
Yeah, you definitely have to. I mean, something about the energy of dropping into the boneyard, into the village. You know, you don't want to hold anything back. We've seen some amazing, amazing stuff off of that drop.
It's what this event is all about, and it's kind of just the tradition of slopestyle, is feeling that you know, euphoric moment at the finish corral that is just packed with fans who are screaming for you. And we've been doing it for so long right now. Why don't we take an opportunity to go down memory lane and revisit some of our best memories. This one's from 2005 when Darren Barracklaw 360, the legendary road gap. That was like the 3 heard round the world. How about 2009 when Greg Watts took the win?
Yeah, 2009, things were elevating in a big, big way. There was more rideable wood features on the course. Slopestyle was really, you know, making its name known. And then right here, off of the gigantic monster drop back in 2010, Cam Zink.
Yeah, from the Kokanee Crankworx days into the Monster Slopestyle days into the Red Bull Joyride days. Brandon Semenuk, the reign of dominance many years there. And then we welcomed Nicholi Rogatkin and watched him climb the ranks until he finally won the Triple Crown in 2018. Still on tour. Love this guy.
Yeah, still on tour, still on the podium. Then we also have women's slopestyle breakthrough starting off. Whistler 2024 was the first year we were able to see them.
And now here we are, 2026, entering a new chapter. Rhapsody Slopestyle this year, and we're getting a look right now at our start list for the men. Any day we start out a slopestyle competition, and the first rider to drop is going to be Kaiden Ingersoll. Get your popcorn, we're not gonna miss that.
Yeah, look at how deep this start list is. So many riders that really, you know, could make their name here today or, you know, back up what they've done in the past. So many athletes here could take the win.
The smooth, stylish precision of Eric Fedko, we'll see him. We'll also see the BC boy Chance Moore, who is on an insane level right now, taking a win already this season. But this guy dropping into the boneyard, believe it or not, for his first time, injuries have kept him off of the boneyard in the last couple of years. Kaiden Ingersoll coming off of a big win on the big bike, a natural selection bike in New Zealand. But here we go for his first Whistler Slopestyle. Kaiden Ingersoll is on course.
Big 360 double downside, already has a foot slip right there. Fortunately, slipping that pedal on that 360 double downside tail, so definitely not what Kaiden was looking for out here today. You really want to get that first run in, get the jitters out. Man, it's gonna be tough to overcome for him.
We're calling that first feature cranky because you have to absolutely sprint into it to have enough speed. He boosted huge amplitude off the lip. And you know, with this entire course having 9 trickable features all in quick succession, it is a rhythm section, and putting your foot just slightly off the pedal can mean completely end of run. What a bummer there for Kaiden in his first time dropping into this course.
Next up, we got Ben Thompson, sort of the product of what the boneyard has given the local riders here.
So the Slopestyle Super League, this is the first season. We talked about it a little bit earlier, a little recap here. Regular season is the first 2 gold events, the first 3 diamond events. We take our top 3 and top 2 in the world ranking from the men and women, send them straight to the World Championship in Mont Saint Anne, but the playoffs will take place next. That'll be at Silver Star, BC, where we will fill the rest of the field for the World Championships. Riders like Ben Thompson right now really wanting to do whatever they can to earn that invitation to the World Championships.
Yeah, looking at the Slopestyle Super League standings right here, we see Godziek with a huge lead right now, but look how tight those next few riders are. They're going to be trying to get that bye.
Yeah, so a rider like Ben Thompson, for example, the Squamish local, outside of that top 3 in the world ranking, so does not have an invitation to the World Champs yet. Let's see if he can earn it here.
Backflip, bar spin to tuck no-hander. Looking really solid so far off the cannon. 360 bar spin to downside tail whip. A little bit of a benefit right there. That's his regular tail whip. Tuck no-hander on that front flip rotation. Up into the whale tail, gets a 3. Has to take a pedal right there, but still able to get the double tail whip off. Keeping it clean. This is where speed becomes an issue. Able to get a little trick there, an alley-oop. One-handed X up.
Come on, Ben.
What has he got off?
Oh, he goes for the front, he drops!
Absolutely diving board move, completely blind, rotating all the way around perfectly.
Rolling the dice on the final feature right there. The local boy stomping a top to bottom run. Yeah, Ben Thompson has been hanging out on this Boneyard Slopestyle course his entire life. Started as a fan, just like those kids whose hats he's signing right now. Now he's in the big show, and he's solidified himself as a staple on the World Tour.
Yeah, I was looking at that. I was wondering, does he feel like he's signing autographs for himself? Little bit of a mistake right there coming up into the whale tail, having to take a pedal. Looked like he wanted a little more, but this right here off of the surgeon's table, that could not have been any better. Shaking his hand right there. A little bit shaky up top. Definitely something to improve on in his run too.
Ben, my man. I feel like the crowd always gets a little bit louder for you, Ben, being the local boy. What's it like going from being one of those in the crowd cheering on the riders to now you are on the main stage dropping huge front flip drops off the final feature?
Dude, it's crazy. This course, every year, is insane, especially this year. It took a bit for all of us to get used to. And wow, it's tiring. I'm out of breath, but wow, to be down here again for the 4th time, it's been my dream. Like, again and again, it never gets old. So to be here, standing in front of all you guys, I couldn't be happier. Missed a few things, so I'm gonna go back up and try and clean it up, but I'm happy to get a solid one down. And yeah, the boys and the girls, they got it.
That's the beauty
Hype to see the runs.
Yep, that's the beauty of stomping your first run and rolling the dice a bit with something like a front E-drop. Can't wait to see you clean it up in second runs. We're gonna get your score in here soon. Way to go, Ben.
Thanks, Cam.
Yeah, you hear Ben saying, even though he left a couple of things up on the hill, stoked to get a run to top to the bottom. Just, you know, keeps your heart rate lower even. You know, the heart rate level before dropping in on a first run and a second run, you've got down, you know you can do it.
Isn't it cool to see how winded they are at the end of a slopestyle run? You expect that out of a downhill race, but you forget how physical it is doing a run through this course with tricks on every single feature. Oh man, the big guy next to take to this course is going to be Tim Bringer, last season's overall world champion. Missed the first 2 events coming into the 2026 season, but a return to the World Tour last weekend in the Netherlands for Red Bull District Ride. And you know what? He picked up right where he left off, and he had to fight from behind, a little bit of a bobble in run number 1. David Godziek was leading the charge, but Tim Bringer just dropped the hammer more and more throughout the day, just up in the ante, eventually doing a backflip double tail whip to bar spin off of the final feature, which is this huge jump we're seeing right now. So a guy who really knows how to pace himself, put down an insane run in run number 1, and then still have more in the tank to back it up in run number 2. He is probably the guy to beat out here today, and we're getting to see him drop in early, which is going to be exciting.
Yeah, definitely excited to see this run right here. Not only is he the biggest competitor out here, but he goes the biggest. He definitely uses that size to his advantage.
Here's your first opportunity to enter and have a chance to win our merch package. Check out that poll on screen right now. We're asking you who you think has the most pressure coming into this event. Now, Tim, last year's world champion, obviously wants to make it into the finals at MSA, which for this year, for the first time ever, we have a world championship one-off event. Tim Bringer's not qualified yet. He's working on that right now.
360 double, 360 tail bar to bar, tuck no-hander to bar spin, backflip off of the cannon. So getting that rotation, using that extra lip, double tail with backflip, catches the pedal so early.
You know what that means.
You know, run 2, he's maybe going to be reaching for something more. Front flip up, Triple truck driver out of the whale tail.
That was a run-2 move.
The quadruple combination right there. A little bit of a tag. Gets an alley-oop flare right there. Doesn't throw it away.
Oh, he's got to have so much fitness to be able to trick this final feature. What does he have, Alan?
Bogging up. Tuck no-handed backflip off of the surgeon's table. I cannot tell you how hard it is to get that rotation going off of a flat drop, but somehow Tim Bringer able to have time to tuck the bars and fully extend the hands.
That is insane. What he did right there is earn himself the opportunity to win this competition in run 2 if this run doesn't hold up, because we saw him catch early on some of these tricks, and we know what he has in the tank because we just saw footage from last weekend. This is a great example of that, Alan.
Yeah, this one right here, you caught it out. As soon as he caught the bike, he was just kind of hanging out, waiting.
But he also had some moves that you would expect to see in run 2, like this one right here.
Yeah, 360 bar to bar to bar, 4 tricks in a row off of the whale tail. And you see right there how hard he has to pull and snap to get that rotation going around. Perfectly run.
Yeah, you could see him tag a little bit on the hip, but he muscled through, and then he was definitely digging deep to be able to get that alley-oop flare. And the fact that he still had some power in the tank to do that flat drop backflip no-hander. This guy is all pro.
Oh yeah, pure power.
Judges hard at work here. It's gonna be a big number, I gotta imagine. We got our judges, head judge Paul Rack. We got former slopestyle competitor Anton Thalander, Craig Kingsman, Justin Skinner filling out the judging panel. And this one is going to have big implications for the rest of the day right here. This will be a foundation baseline score for the competition. Banger run, and the score comes in at an 89.75. Judges giving themselves some space, not going into the 90s quite yet.
Yeah, definitely room to improve. We saw those moments on course already. Tim coming into this contest a little bit fresher than the rest of the competitors. Decided to just kind of have a slow start to the season, focus on building his own bike company.
Kind of a turning point moment right now for the field because the level has been raised. Katie, what is the atmosphere like at the top of the course after that run?
Electric. It is so good to see Tim Bringer back on track. I think everybody's happy to see him back on his own bike brand. He was laying down district ride last week, and he is back well and truly.
So true. Thank you, Katie. All the riders up there after seeing that run. This is one of those moments where if you were thinking about a safety run, you might see that and go, you know what? We got to push it a little bit harder in run 1 because the bar has been raised. And one rider who thrives off of the crowd like no other. The only rider who maybe thrives off the crowd as much as him, maybe Nicholi Rogatkin, but Griffin Paulson, you can see him right here already raising his arms in the air, trying to get the Boneyard fans alive. They're already buzzing right now after that run from Tim. Let's see if Griffin can back that up. Griffin Paulson on course.
Big backflip bar to bar to bar, quadruple combo to start it off. Leaning forward with a front flip bar spin on the cannon. Let's see what he's got on the 14er. Double backflip, tuck no-hander, so extended.
Held it out.
Tuck no-hander up, what's he got out of the whale tail? Backflip bar to bar. So he's keeping it going with huge combinations. Right there, nice little steez, keeping his momentum going. Flare in, back on the pedals right here. What's he gonna do?
We know what he has. Let's see if he taps into it. He goes for the front flip.
Griffin Paulson also leaning forward off the surgeon's table. Solid run. I think that's the best run number 1 we've seen Griffin lay down here in the Boneyard. Such a good start to his competition day.
Yeah. Griffin carrying the momentum coming off of a 6th place at District Ride. Get a 5th here back in 2024.
And this right here, so important to start your run off smooth. And right there, you could not have done that triple bar spin backflip any better.
Oh, look at the extension.
1 up, 1 down with a fully extended tuck no-hander. The reason why that is so incredibly impressive, flipping off of that surgeon's table forward, is you're looking at your stomach nearly the entire way down. it's all by feel. You're completely blind. You can't see the landing. You're just looking at the Whistler Valley, hoping you're going to land on your wheels, and that's exactly what he did.
So crazy seeing flat drop fronties in run number 1 out here. You saw that graphic on screen earlier. This is the longest running stop on the Crankworx World Tour. It's where it all started. This is our 21st running here of Crankworx Slopestyle in Whistler.
89.75. Benny Thompson, 66.5. Kaiden Ingersoll, unfortunately unable to complete his run, so he's going to be regrouping.
So here we go. The score to beat, 89.75, held by Tim Bringer. Score coming in for Griffin Paulson right now. A 74 slots him into second.
Yeah, solid first score for Griffin Paulson. We know he's got a deep, deep bag of gigantic maneuvers, so he is going to be looking to up his second score. It's a little bit of strategy for these athletes going in with a 2-run format. You know, that first run, you can either, you know, have your hardest run in your mind and try to get it done in 2, or you kind of take a safety run and build into that last one. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out.
Well, the first of the youngsters that we're going to see here today representing the new wave of slopestyle talent all the way from Australia, the 19-year-old Dane Folpp, a World Tour rookie, dropping into Whistler's slopestyle finals for his first time with a big front flip suicide no-hander.
Going huge off the cannon, backflip bar spin to tail whip. I cannot believe we're seeing those maneuvers off of that cannon feature.
Oh!
Double backflip can with so much authority. Truck driver up, backflip bar spin to can out. So he has a nice flow to this run. Great trick selection. Alley tail whip, back on the pedals, getting through these rollers. Here we go onto the surgeon table, opposite tail whip up.
Nice.
Tucking no-hander off of that surgeon's table with the backflip. Such a solid run right there. I think that was everything he wanted, and now it's time to see what he can do in this run too.
To drop into Whistler for your first time in front of this crowd and get it top to bottom nailed with bangers scattered throughout. The backflip bar spin to whip off of the cannon, the flip tuck off of the drop. He cranked so much energy into that rotation. He almost had more than he needed, landing back tire off that flat drop flip tuck no-hander. And I almost forgot about the front flip sui. You see a lot of front flip tuck no-handers. You do not see a lot of front flip suicide no-handers.
Yeah, usually you gotta have a front brake on your bike to do that suicide front flip, but making it possible right there, both tires landing at the exact same time. That's where technicality and precision comes into play in these judging categories. You know, they're looking for execution, and everything was done perfectly right there for Dane.
Dane, 2 minutes ago, you've never dropped into the boneyard for a final run in front of this crowd. Now you have. What did that feel like?
That was unbelievable feeling. Oh my God, I was so nervous at the top. The vibe here, the crowd here is insane. I pretty much got everything I wanted. I'm pumped, let's go.
How long have you been thinking about this moment and watching this competition as a fan?
I feel like Rhapsody, Slopestyle, or Whistler, Crankworx is like the most iconic event in our sport. So I've been watching this on TV for years and years, and to be here is the best feeling ever. First time here, I'm loving it, let's go.
Well, guess what, dude? Now you're a big part of it. Congratulations on that run, Dane. Way to go. Waiting for the score here for the young Australian after a spectacular run. What's it gonna be? He needs to beat an 89.7. Whoa, 92.5! Dane Folpp into the lead! For the rookie, insanity!
He can't believe it. Such a solid score, but well earned.
It's the diversity of the trick choices. It was such a well-rounded and well-curated run. Oh man, we're sitting right next to the judges. I didn't even know that was brewing over there, that they were cooking up such a big score for Dane Folpp. All right, we got a competition on our hands here, folks. And you viewers are telling us who you think has the most pressure coming in today. You're saying David Godziek. Ooh, it's all building to that last rider to drop. David Godziek, the #1 ranked rider in the world, will be the final rider to drop for his first run But right now we're gonna try to reset here and welcome another newcomer to the competition. Best buds with Dane Folpp. This is the Canadian Jack Feick. He is on a tear. Ranked number 8 in the world right now, but guess what? He's climbing the ranks. He was 4th at District Ride last weekend, 7th in Rotorua earlier this season. He took a win last season on the Gold Series, and Jack Feick right now dropping into Whistler for his first time. Oh! Oh!
Looked like he just slipped his pedal a little bit there, coming in.
Starting out, first feature super tech with that opposite combo.
Opposite 360 bar spin to downside tail whip. When he came back around, like he just fumbled the pedals a little bit with his feet.
Man, we saw that from Kaiden Ingersoll. We've seen this now from Jack Feick. It just goes to show how hard it is. We're looking at the best riders in the world, how hard it is to not bobble under all the pressure here in Whistler.
Yeah, watch his back tire. He comes up slightly short. And when you do that, these bikes, these slopestyle bikes, they do not have rear suspension on most of them. And that impact just bounces your feet off the pedals.
That's a huge dice roll right there, going for that trick off the first feature. You know he is gunning for the jugular. He means business out here today. The fact that that's how he wanted to start his first run, but he'll put all the pressure on run 2. But right now, it's all about the next rider warming up in the start gate. I would say he's solidified himself as a legend in this sport. I'm talking about Paul Couderc, a well-rounded rider with a storied rap sheet in slopestyle, but also trying his hand at other competitions on the big bike. We saw him at National Selection Bike. We've seen his huge video parts out in the freeride terrain of southern Utah. Paul Couderc has stood on the podium here. He was 2nd here just 3 years ago in 2023, ranked number 9 in the world right now. Here we go, Paul Couderc.
Paul Couderc rides with so much aggression right there. Opposite cork 720s right off the bat. Backflip bar to bar on the cannon, so really good start.
Doing it to Black Sabbath.
Double backflip off the 14er
to the moon.
On the gas and a seat bounce.
Seat bounce backflip into the whale tail. Backflip tail whip out. Huge on all of these tricks. Nice corked out backflip right there on the hip. This is an amazing run for Paul Couderc. Can he keep it going to the bottom? Truck driver up, straight backflip down. Looked like he wanted a little more, or he was just already excited. So stoked coming down.
Paul Couderc crammed so much into that run. Chock full of bangers, but also really thinking outside the box with that seat bounce backflip into the whale tail.
Such good variety on his trick choice, coming out with an opposite cork 720. We've seen him finish his runs with that before, but I think that's the first time we've seen it on the first obstacle.
Yes, Paul. Paul's been doing this slopestyle thing for so long right here. It's so great to still have him on the World Tour. He was to the moon on this double flip, but keep an eye on this next feature. What makes this backflip up so much harder than a normal one?
He's just sitting down. It's all in the upper body. It's a little bit of a flick of the wrist, tightening of the core to get that to go around. The seat bounce backflip is what that was. But really, getting that trick in and out, flip whipping, just everything he did was so dialed.
Oh. Yeah, it's a really tight transition between the landing of the step up on the final feature into being able to get your weight back and initiate that flat drop flip. And that was non-stop action there for Paul Couderc. Interested to see what the score is going to be. Score to beat right now is a 92.5 from the young Aussie Dane Folpp.
I like to think of Paul as the Picasso of these slopestyle riders.
100%.
He definitely leaves his mark on this course like none other.
Yeah, we see his artistry really shine in his video parts where he's always trying to get creative. And he looks at a slopestyle course with 9 trickable features, and you know he's always trying to find a spot to not only cram in some typical bangers, but something that you won't see any other rider do, and that was that seat bounce backflip. When you do a seat bounce on a jump, it wants to pitch you over the front, so to carry all that and keep the weight back into a backflip. See if the judges reward this run for its versatility. A 78 going into 3rd place, just edging out Griffin Paulson, 74. So So Paul Couderc in top 3 podium contention right now as we see a look at who our next rider to drop will be. It is the ever stylish Eric Fedko, who finally got a win on a major Crankworx Slopestyle event after 3 seconds, 4 thirds, a third here at Joyride last year. It was so great to see him finally get a win in Christchurch.
Yeah, so awesome to see him kind of coming back from injury and really being at the top of his game there to start the season off, getting that win, new format. It was really cool to see.
Watching this guy in practice is as if he's filming a video part every time he drops. We've seen him experimenting so much with different trick choices in practice. I have no idea what he's going to go for here in the run. I can't wait to see him on that big hip, that left-hand hip with the red lip. What is he going to do over that?
Yeah, a couple speculations up here in the booth, but now's the time to find out. What's he going to do on this first jump? Huge downside 360 tail up, catches the seat, Indian air seat grab. Big 360 tail. Look how high he's going compared to all the other riders. Back extension. Did you see the height and the extension on that no-handed double backflip? Flip whip up. Truck driver down, keeping his momentum. Here's your track. The jump you were looking for. Looks like he wanted maybe a little more. Nice 450, but man, the height. Amplitude is a portion of this judged event, and he is checking that box. Opposite tail whip up. Truck driver down.
Bangers for Eric Fedko. Spectacular run.
The technicality of opposite tail whipping into that surgeon's table. You got to catch the pedals perfect, and you have a blink of an eye from when you land and then you're dropping out of the sky.
I cannot wait to see a replay of that first feature, that 360 downside tail up, catches the seat with his hand and then extends into a near vertical seat grab Indian air.
Yeah, he's been doing his Pilates or yoga. He was so stretched out. Here we go. Boom!
My goodness.
Unbelievable first jump right there. Was able to keep it going right here, and the height on this double backflip tuck no-hander. Watch his tires come in. Boom, both tires at the exact same time. That is the definition of execution.
Fedko, my man. Congratulations on a stellar run. I want to talk to you about starting that run with that 3 down whip to seat grab Indian air. That is a dice roll to kick off with that. Was that exactly what you wanted right there? It looked like your legs were vertical.
Dude, I think I was so scared to not do the Indian air seat grab, so I kicked as hard as I could. And I was so upside down, I got scared in the air. Was so stoked when I landed. When I started the run with that trick, I knew I'm on it. Got all the way down. I'm so happy. What a feeling to finish the run. Thank you, Whistler. Thanks everyone for coming out today. This is a hell of a show. Thank you, guys.
That's it, man. You've been doing this for so long. It's got to feel good to be welcomed into that finished crowd by these fans.
Insane. Thank you, Cam.
Way to go, Fedko. All right, we're looking for this score, man. But yeah, if nothing else, that seat grab Indian air after the 3 down whip. We're going to be watching that replayed for months. Way to go. Here we go, score coming in. What's it going to be? An 85.25, knocking Paul Couderc out of top 3. Eric Fedko into bronze medal contention.
What the fuck? maybe he was looking for a little more, but that is what is all about run 2s.
Oh gosh, yep. Somebody who's cranked up the intensity meter this season out of Langley, BC. Chance Moore has his own training compound in his backyard, and he has been putting it to full use. He grabbed a big win at Bikefest Kalnika out in Slovakia earlier, doing things like that. A front flip bar spin off of a drop. We got a bigger drop here, so we know the airtime is on tap. Probably harder to do it on a small drop like that, but finishing it with a front flip tail up, a trick that we typically only see Nicholi Rogatkin do, just hints at the level Chance Moore is on right now. We also saw him in the shootout in Rotorua do a world's first in slopestyle competition, a Court 7 tail whip. So a ton of tricks to choose from right here for the 22-year-old out of Langley, BC. Chance Moore, we are in for a treat right now.
Yeah, we absolutely are. What's he gonna do to start this run off?
Well, listen how loud they are. Oh!
Big 720 right there. Opposite rotation for that. Flip whip off. Coming in so nosedive on the cannon.
The cannon feature.
Double backflip on the 14er, so Chance is looking really good so far. Truck driver up.
Oh!
Regular rotation 7 out of the whale tail. Nice big floaty. Corked backflip, little off axis right there, looking clean. Back on the pedals, what's he gonna do?
Well, this run could potentially do it. What's he got? Yeah!
Opposite truck up to front flip out. Such a good run from Chance Moore right there. Spinning multiple directions. So much variety, doing what he needed to do.
If I were the judges right now, I'd be like, all right, replay. Let's think about what Dane's run had. Let's think about what this run had. The variety here, but also just the balance. Having that Oppo Cork 7 off of the first trick jump and then complementing that with the Reg Cork 7 on a step down. Yeah, cool camaraderie out of these riders out here. You know, they all want to perform to their highest, but they want the best for their competitors as well. Sure, they want to win, but they're always like, you know what? It's great to see you land your run. Let's let the judges do their job.
Yeah, such a well thought out run. Regular truck driver up right there, Cork 7 out. We had the opposite Cork 7 a little bit higher in the course. There we have an opposite truck up into the surgeon's table and then a front flip out. So the variety, the ability to spin both directions.
Yeah, I mean, just the tricks on their own are going to yield a high score, but the fact that there were so many opposites scattered throughout there is what I think really gives this run a chance to shake up the leaderboard a bit. Yeah, Chance with a bronze medal at Cairns, Australia last season. That was his first visit to the Crankworx Slopestyle podium at a major World Tour event. Yeah, started out strong this season with, like we mentioned, that Cork 7 whip in Rotorua. Also winning Bike Fest in Kalnika, Slovakia. Okay, score coming in for Chance Moore, an 87.5. He goes into third place, knocking Fedko off the podium spot.
He likes it. He's all horns down there, giving the fans some autographs. It's so cool at the Crankworx Festival how close you can get to these athletes.
All right, Katie, you're up at the top of the course. I know we got Nicholi Rogatkin coming up next. Is he in full focus mode or what?
Nicholi is locked in. He's just seen his favourite training mate, Chance, put down a sick run. Those two work together really well in training, and he's locked in. You should see the eyes. This is going to be huge.
Oh, thanks, Katie. I can only imagine. I saw him this morning, and he had that eye of the tiger, and, you know, he's the most jovial character out of the entire field. So when you see him focus like this, you know he's got some big stuff planned. He's had an amazing season this year, racking up 3 bronze medals. He knows what it's like to win this event. He's got 6 Crankworx Diamond Series wins to his name. He's ready to drop the hammer. Nicholi Rogatkin.
Here we go. Nothing but power.
Yeah,
buddy. Gets the twister right off the bat.
Way to
into
start.
a double tail whip. That was a 1080 cork rotation off the first obstacle.
Yeah.
Pastoral tail whip. The consistency of where he's landing on these landings, keeping his momentum. This is what he needs to do.
Yes,
Cash roll out of the whale
locked
tail. Nice little steez, one hand, stanky leg, downside tail whip.
Come on, buddy, here we go.
All right, you were calling something out earlier, Cam. Let's see if he can get it. And there it is, the double tail whip off the surgeon's table. That is exactly what you called out, and he does it.
Straight to pedals. Oh, that was such a huge run.
Didn't look like he had to, call any audibles. It looked like his plan from top to bottom. It was so clean. It was like sort of exactly what his demeanor was earlier, just locked in.
I knew we were going to see something like that based on the way he was at the top of the course earlier today. That was a focused Nicholi. When you got a focused Nicholi, you get a banger run like that.
Here we go, back to the top. There's that twister.
Let's start the run with a 1080, why don't we?
Straight into a double tail whip, off the cannon log. Cash roll tail whip. These were final Showtime booter tricks just a season ago, but now mid-set, no worries.
The cashy down out of the whale tail. Look how perfect it was.
Such a tight transition right there to make that decision. And then the double tail whip off the surgeon's table.
Double whip off of a flat drop it's never going to be an easy move. There's a reason you don't see too many people doing it. Full muscle, full core strength. Nicholi, my man, I saw how focused you were this morning, and I knew we were in for a treat. What was that one like for you?
Oh, I'm trying to catch my breath down here. Oh, this mic has a crazy echo. The runs out here are so difficult to do, so tiring. You feel like you're gonna crash on half the features. Like, I thought I was gonna crash cash rolling out of the whale tail. That's why I downgraded my trick on the hip. And then there's been a couple times where I crashed on this last feature. So I'm literally pedaling in like, please, come on. All the strength that I got, the double whip takes so much strength. And coming through this finish is insane. Chance and I have been training hard to see him drop before me, nail all his stuff, and greet him in the finish. This is what slopestyle is all about. We're loving it, and we got run 2 coming. Let's do it.
That's right, Nicholi. Thank you for the show, my man. As always, great performance.
Yeah, you can kind of hear it in their breathing when they're at the bottom, how much energy this course is taking out of them. They're doing such a good job of making it look so
Score
good.
coming in for Nicholi Rogatkin into 5th, okay? He goes, all right, I'm gonna sign some autographs. An 82. Yeah, you know, he's such a pro, not just on the bike, but on the mic. I was gonna ask him how much fitness was required for that double up, and he just answered that right away. I can't imagine landing that quarter pipe and going like, all right, I just stopped all those moves. Now I got to bunny hop and do 2 tail ups off of this flat drop.
Yeah, to kind of give some insight on why that's so hard. There's no rotation to wind up that whip. You just got to pull it all out of your core.
Number 2 ranked rider in the world, the Swiss rider who appears to just be stronger than ever this season. Had a great performance at District Ride, taking 3rd place and a bronze medal. Also, 2nd at Rotorua this year. We've seen, you know, a real coming of age for Lucas Huppert this year. What do you attribute that to, Alan?
I mean, he's been training. He's been putting the time in between the contests. Where I see the difference in Lucas Huppert is between the jumps. He's always had the tricks, but he's attacking. And when he lands, he's already ready for the next one. There's no recovery. He's strong, he's fit, he's been eating well. It means a lot to him, and I think we're going to see some big things right here.
Yeah, we've very much entered into an era of slopestyle where you have to take yourself seriously as an athlete. He's in the gym, he's watching what he eats, and like you say, it's in between those features after a hard landing to have the strength to be able to muscle through and be ready for that next feature. We've really seen him check that box for himself this year.
He's been on the podium here in the Boneyard. You know he would like to be on the top step. Can he do it?
Here we go, Lucas Huppert!
Right there, looked like a front flip bar to bar. I think there was a second one there. 360 bar to bar off the cannon. On the 14er, nice big floaty cash roll right there.
Really high, yeah.
Tail whip up, backflip out.
Straight backflip off.
Oh, gets a little bit loose. On that tail whip, front end was a bit high. Something looked a little off.
Yeah, I mean, that hip has been claiming victims in practice. So when you see riders, you know, roll the dice and trick that thing, you know that it's a little bit harder to land than some of the other features. It's a really harsh angle, like almost 90. And so if you're not absolutely perfect, you're probably coming off the bike.
Yeah, I mean, he's been so good all season. Maybe I have a little bit too high of expectations, but, you know, some double bar spins where I maybe would have expected triples. It just wasn't quite there from the top.
Sometimes I wonder, too, they've been getting so much practice this morning. It's like you want to try to pace yourself and get that run when you're at your peak performance. I saw him dropping so many laps in practice.
A nice smooth 360 down.
So a throwaway run here for Lucas Huppert, but we've seen hints of what his second run might contain, and luckily, despite the fact he went down, he was able to slide out nice and safe, so he should be feeling good and healthy for run number 2.
Yeah, straight backflip out of the whale tail. I'd say that's probably why he messed up that tail whip there. He was still thinking about what was left on the table behind him. Just got the front end a little bit too high.
Yeah, with that angle of the hip being close to 90 right there, you have to be perfect. He was thinking points, isn't he? Okay. Yeah, I'll watch a David Godziek run at Whistler Slopestyle here. Next to drop into this Rhapsody course will be the #1 ranked rider in the world, coming off of a second at District Ride just last weekend. And we're seeing highlights from his gold medal in Rotorua earlier this season, the second stop on the tour.
Yeah, I think every time we see him compete out here on the Crankworx World Tour, we see some world firsts or something we haven't seen before. It's going to be huge. Looking back at Rotorua right there, the cash roll tail whip.
He has won here on this prestigious course. That was back in 2024. Like I say, ranked #1 in the world. He has been a dominant force, just missing the win last weekend at District Ride. So looking to settle the score here right now. And if what he's been doing in practice is any indication, he has what it takes to move into that top spot if he pieces it all together. David Godziek.
Right there, starts it off with the cash roll tail whip. Straight into a triple tail whip on the cannon.
Catching pedals, keeping things
already
going.
elevating the trick list right there. No-handed 1080.
I knew that was coming.
No-handed twister. Opposite tail whip up.
Onto the whale tail.
Double truck driver out. Might have been reaching for the third, but able to keep the speed going. Tuck no-hander to Barson. Landed really high on that hip.
Good speed.
Super important.
Oh, what is he going to choose here on the final drop, Alan?
Suicide no-hander. To a bar spin backflip. That's what he was looking for right there. David Godziek with a solid run out here today.
The flip bar to cap things off the flat drop. The 1080 no-hander in the middle. Everything all the way down to getting a technical combo on that quirky hip. The tuck to bar. David Godziek with precision stomps his first of 2 runs here today.
If you had any question about his confidence, he's wearing white shoes and white pants. You only do that if you know you're not going to fall.
Yep, you're feeling good with your speed and your trick precision when you're wearing white pants out there.
Starting it off with that cash roll tail whip we saw in Rotorua. That's how he finished it, so picking up exactly where he let off. The triple tail whip off of that cannon was huge, and then right there, the 1080 tuck no-hander.
14-foot tall ramp right there. Go to your local basketball court, stare at the rim, and imagine a lip that is 4 feet higher than the rim of a basketball hoop. That is what is launching these riders into orbit with enough airtime for 3 rotations. David, what's up? You're in familiar territory down here in the Finnish Corral. You've won this event before. How good does it feel to stomp that run? That was chock full of bangers.
Yeah, it felt very good. It's always same stressful, and I'm just super happy to be down here.
What's more challenging out here today? The big bangers like the twister no-hander, or things that are more technical like getting that tuck to bar on the 90-degree hip?
I usually do mistakes on the smaller weird tricks, so it was more stressful for me, but yeah, somehow worked out.
Yep, good to see you put the full package together. I see the judges working hard up here. Looking forward to seeing the score, but congratulations on stomping that run.
Yeah.
Let's hear it for David Godziek. Okay, what is it going to be? Will it outshine that 92.5 from the youngster Dane Folpp? Score coming in for David Godziek, a 94.5! Godziek into the top spot. Oh. Sometimes it's the little things, you know, getting those technical tricks. Interesting to hear him say those are sometimes the ones that can ruin what could be a perfect run. full package there for David Godziek. What do you think of run number 1 for the men, Alan?
Man, what an exciting event. Everybody upping their game here today on the Boneyard course. I think you nailed it right there. It was the little things. Godziek being able to just really keep everything super tidy on the way down, and then the unbelievable level of tricks he's pulling along the way.
So gapping Dane Folpp by a full 2 points, but take a look at the rest of our field. We will drop everybody in the same order this year for the first time. And plenty of riders out there stomping their dream runs, plenty with more in the tank. What will we see from Tim Bringer? Will he squeeze a bar spin out of that backflip? Double tail whip. Run number 2 for the women and the men coming up after the break. Stick with us here at Rhapsody Slopestyle. Rhapsody Slopestyle is brought to you by Whistler Mountain Bike Park.
Welcome to New Zealand. One of the best events all year.
It's perfect! Oh man! To the moon!
Conditions are dialed, the riders are dialed, let's do this.
Game on.
It is on into the hot seat.
This is going to be insane.
She'll be able to keep rolling. Perfection.
Whoa, that was perfect! And oh my god! Oh, bro! Oh my god, he goes so far!
Well, Old Faithful is delivering. You can always depend on Whistler Slopestyle to provide an unmatched display of slopestyle mountain biking talent. We just saw run 1 for the women and then run 1 for the men, so it's time to get them back up to the top of the course for run number 2 and see if they can improve those runs. We've got Johanna Nussbaumer leading the charge for the women, David Godziek in the hot seat for the men. But just 2 days ago, we had the Specialized Canadian Open Downhill, which was an insane show. The crowd, as per tradition, coming out with full force and cheering on the local boy, the reigning world champion, Jackson Goldstone. We also saw the young talent of Alita Osgard just sweeping the field with a convincing win on the iconic 1199 course, of course built in honor of the late great Stevie Smith. Can't express how loud the fans got for Jackson Goldstone, right, Alan?
Yeah, so cool to see him come out and really have his first race on the 1199 course go his way. Huge run, almost threw it away at the bottom, but was able to hold on.
Well, the clock is the boss when it comes to downhill racing, but out here at Rhapsody Slopestyle, the judging panel has the final say. We got an opportunity right now to catch up with Anton Thielander, who's a member of the judging panel. What up, Anton? We're going to pretend like we're far away, but like, here, give me a high five, my man. What up? So, question, 2 points separating Dane Folpp and David Godziek. What was it about Godziek's run that allowed you guys to give him those 2 extra points?
Yeah, that was pretty hectic, right? Both runs are insanely complex, but I feel like just the level of risk when it comes to those spins with a cashy whip and a twister no hand rather than going just front Zoe and a double flip. Well, I'm saying just, but there's not a sideways rotation, right? So those maneuvers and then just overall it was pretty textbook run.
Yeah, there's a science to it. I mean, you were a long-time slopestyle competitor. What's it like moving from the, between the tape feeling of dropping it for a slopestyle run to now being up here? Do you have a little bit more empathy for the judges from your competition years now that you're the one assigning scores to these runs?
Definitely, yeah. It's a hard job, and yeah, it's cool to have seen both sides of it. And it's definitely nerves, whether you're dropping in or judging. But yeah, I like it. I feel like it's cool to have former riders to judge the sport and help it go forward.
Yeah, I feel like our results are in good hands with you up here as a member of the judging panel. So thank you for doing it, and thanks for shining a little light on how you were able to give such a big score to Godziek's run. Can't wait to see. I know you can't wait to see second run. So thanks for chatting with us.
Thanks, Cam.
David Godziek, top of the leaderboard in the hot seat. I can't think of a better rider to strap a camera on and take a lap through this course. Let's take a look. Yeah, that's so. Just a chill little POV run down a trail, right?
Yeah, the speed they're going into the bottom on those bikes has got to be sketchy.
Yeah, you kind of get a sense for how tall those ramps are, but yeah, I encourage you to go stand next to a basketball hoop and imagine the lip being 4 feet taller. So it is time for run number 2 now. We are going to kick things off with the women's field. We have Johanna Nussbaumer as the one to beat right now, posting that 91.25 from run number 1. Zoe Witwicki will be the first to drop here for run number 2. We see her climbing her way into the roll-in now.
Yeah, we saw in that first run just trying to get clean top to bottom, which is something I could definitely agree with. And she did that, got top to bottom, so now it's the opportunity to maybe do a little more.
Well, it's good to see the viewers out there taking part in our poll, and I would have to agree. We're talking about which of these features out of the 9 trickable features on the course is most the make and break, and we've seen that first jump, nicknamed Cranky, because you got a sprint pedal into it. That is the one that has derailed a bunch of runs so far in run number 1. Zoe Witwicki had a clean top to bottom in run number 1. She had a tuck no-hander on Cranky in run number 1. Let's see if she's going to squeeze a couple more tricks in here in run 2.
Yeah, keeping it stock right here so far. Getting up off the 14er. Yeah, talking about Cranky, it reminds me of the old days. It wasn't free. There wasn't just huge roll-ins. You had to pedal in. So another level of difficulty on this course here this year.
That's got to be one of the hardest features there. You see, even when they're straight airing it, the landing is harsh.
Yeah, big impact on that hip.
It's that final feature. Let's welcome her.
Yeah, Zoe Witwicki making it look smooth. We started with a bunch more riders in our women's field, and these are the 3 who were able to consistently make top to bottom runs. And I know you might be sitting there going, hey, she didn't do any tricks. This is a judged event, but we can't stress enough how, how much of a puzzle it is to put together the ability to ride top to bottom on this line.
Yeah, Zoe getting through this morning. Her learning curve is steep today.
So I don't expect to see Zoe bettering her score. She had a tuck no-hander on Cranky in run number 1. But, this is something to build on. She's a youngster. She's already won a competition this year. She had second before that. And, these are the building blocks she can carry into something like Silver Star, which will be the next stop where she'll have the chance to earn points for the World Championships in Mont Saint Anne.
Yeah, it's cool to hear she picked up mountain biking for an advantage.
Zoe, great to see you get another one top to bottom. What was it like during the practice days just trying to piece this course together?
Definitely had a couple gnarly practice days, but stoked to be here, stoked to get to the bottom, and yeah, just so stoked to be here.
For sure. I mean, it's an exclusive club. There's not a ton of riders in the field because it's a hard course to ride. So are you looking forward to going to Silver Star and trying to rack up some more of those points and hopefully get your ticket to Mont Saint Anne for the World Championships?
Yeah, I'm super excited for Silver Star. It's probably my favorite comp. But yeah, just unbelievable.
So cool. It's got to feel great to get to that finish corral, so congratulations, Zoe.
Thank you.
Yeah, she's soaking it all in right there, but we're going to be going into run 2s here. With these second runs, it is so difficult. Strategy comes into play. You know where people are seated. You kind of have a feel for where the judges' scores are landing. We talked to the lead judge. We kind of know they're rewarding those really high-risk spins, off-axis, forward 720s. That run 2 strategy, super important right here. The bag of tricks these riders have and when to let them out, it's not a given. You got to kind of feel out the course, feel out the judges, knowing that you got to leave it all on the course. You got one more run.
So the fact that we are not re-racking based on run 1 rankings means that Johanna doesn't necessarily get a victory lap right here. Sure, she's got quite a convincing lead. The odds of Shealen beating her are slim, but Johanna's still going to drop here.
Just a straight flip on that first one. Straight air on the cannon. She may be just
over the cannon,
hoping for that 91.25, kind of like you talked about.
Nice style on that big.
Yeah, Johanna had such a great run in run number 1. She's going to let the pressure live on Shealen Reno's shoulders, who will be the final rider to drop. And Johanna Nussbaumer is going to ride that 91.25 into the history books. We'll see if it will hold up after we drop Shealen Reno here coming up.
Make some noise for Johanna.
Yeah, no doubts there. Her strategy was to lean on that first run. She came out swinging with the backflip bar to bar, probably the biggest trick in the women's field so far.
Yeah, sometimes when you stress over a run for an entire week and it comes together in run number 1, you think, all right, what are the odds of me actually being able to not only do that again, but then improve upon it in some way? You say, all right, season is still, you know, kind of in the middle of the season right now with just 2 more events to go. So she's going to stay safe, stay healthy, and ride that 91.25.
Yeah, throughout the progression of these sports, as tricks have gotten bigger, features have gotten bigger, it's so important to have risk management. It's cool to see it in Johanna at such a young athlete out here today.
So yeah, you see that DNI come through. That just means did not improve. So Shealen Reno with a big opportunity here right now. If she wants to try to knock that one out, if she comes up with some crazy combos and tricks absolutely everything. There were a couple missed opportunities in run number 1 for Johanna. Johanna has that extra degree of difficulty with those rotating combos, which we heard from the judges, they heavily reward. Well, let's see if Shealen Reno plans to dig deep here.
Yeah, we know that's her specialty, getting a trick off every obstacle. Can she do it out here today? Gets the pendulum right there, a little bit more solid on the pedals in the first run. Straight air on the cannon, so she's really gonna have to step it up if that's her game plan.
See if we get maybe a Superman or something. No, she knows. Yeah, in order to beat that 91.25, she would have already needed to completely wow us and blow us away with some unexpected combos. So unofficially, of course, but I'm gonna say there's a good chance Shealen Reno finishes in second and we may be celebrating
to the finish, ladies and gentlemen.
A Rhapsody slopestyle win for Johanna Nussbaumer here.
Yeah, it's got to feel good getting to the bottom in one piece, knowing you got your ticket into the finals.
Yeah, any of the riders who competed today, Zoe, Shealen, Johanna, they're going to be getting those super valuable points. And even the riders who don't need to ride the playoffs event in Silver Star. They're able to go to that event and practice the course and get themselves ready for the World Champs coming up Mont Saint Anne in September.
Yeah, I was able to get that pendulum off. I didn't see any issues in between. I
She
thought
just
maybe
wanted
it
the
was a little
tuck, just
cleaner.
didn't get it. Yeah, I feel like if she would have got that tuck no-hander off of the cannon, we would have seen something like a Superman seat grab potentially off of the 14. But yeah, when you got somebody out there doing backflip double bar spins, that's a tall task. Shealen recently moving to Bellingham, Washington from Texas. If you know anything about Bellingham, you know that is an area where you can really push yourself. So much terrain on tap, so many great riders to ride with. So expect to see Shealen Reno just continue to improve her game. Johanna Nussbaumer takes the win officially out here at Rhapsody Slopestyle. Shealen Reno finishes in second place. That's the story for the women's field in 2026, Alan.
So cool to hear the young future of this sport calling out her name, trying to get those autographs.
Look back at our winning run. It is official. Johanna Nussbaumer is our champion.
Yeah, that was that backflip bar to bar that we were talking about, straight into a suicide no-hander on the cannon. And then these combos right here, tuck no-hander to bar spin off the 14er, keeping her momentum throughout.
Johanna, your second big Crankworx World Tour slopestyle win, but your first here. What's different about this one compared to the one earlier this year down in New Zealand?
So the course was way gnarly, like super tricky and way more people, but so happy to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so exciting to see you pull that off. Are you looking forward to World Championships coming up next month over on the other side of this country?
Yeah, sure.
Well, cool. We're excited to see you do it. Hey, everybody, congratulations to Johanna for taking the win out here today.
Thank you.
We'll see her at Mont Saint Anne.
Yeah, she's stoked. Definitely got to have a little bit of time to let something like that soak in. That'll help let it soak in. Big shiny medal.
Oh, that's cool to see Wendy presenting the medal. She has been involved here at the bike park for as long as I've been coming here, which is since 2003. Congrats to Johanna Nussbaumer. There you go. Your job's not over yet, Johanna. Now you got to get used to being a superstar. Sign some autographs, take some pictures. The German making it happen. So why don't we get an update to our Slopestyle Super League standings, and a reminder, top 2 ranked riders in the world get an automatic invitation to the World Champs at MSA. Great to see this course full of fans out there.
So there it is.
So, yeah, you know what? Rewarded for competing in this competition right now. Johanna, second in the World Tour rankings right now. Look at that, Shealen Reno stacking her points the entire season. And that's, indicative of the same thing we talk about with just individual slopestyle runs from her. It's death by 1,000 paper cuts. It's the little things. It's consistency over a long period of time. The same way she curates a run is how she has performed this season, and she is the #1 ranked rider now. We'll see both of them automatically into World Champs. It'll be interesting to see who can perform well at Silver Star and earn their invite to World Champs as well. So that's the story for the women's field here at Rhapsody Slopestyle. Run 2 coming up for the men after the break. Rhapsody Slopestyle is brought to you by Whistler Mountain Bike Park.
Welcome to New Zealand. One of the best events all year. It's perfect! Oh man! To the moon! Conditions are dialed, the riders are dialed, let's do this. Game on.
It is on.
into the hot seat.
This is going to be insane.
She'll be able to keep rolling. Perfection. Whoa, that was perfect. And oh my God. Oh, oh my God, he goes so far.
Right smack dab in the middle of the action here at Rhapsody Slopestyle. Run 2 for the men coming up. Of course, we've had tons of racing already for the past week out here in beautiful Whistler, British Columbia. But we've got a couple judged events as well. One we're right in the middle of, Rhapsody Slopestyle, but we had the whip-off last night as well. The whip-off is a tradition in Whistler, started as an unofficial jam on crabapple. We brought a big old jump right to the middle of the boneyard now, and it was huge. Indy Diaval going straight from the downhill race to the whip-off there. She took the win for the women. Eddie Reynolds grabbed the win for the men. We got Vinnie Armstrong and Janelle Sukup there for the women. Levi for the men and Matt Bagg top 3. And so our final judged event, our final event period of this 2026 Whistler Crankworx. We got one run to go of all the festivities here, and it's going to be Rhapsody Slopestyle Run 2 for the men. Alan, these riders who are not in the top spot, what do you think they're planning for their strategies to try to move their way up those rankings here in Run 2?
Yeah, I mean, Cam, this is the first time they've had to think about strategy beyond today's competition as well. So not only strategy based on what you were able to do in your first run, are you going to up it? Did you have a mistake? Is it an opportunity to go big? But you also now are looking at the overall points. Do I want to compete in Silver Star? Am I going to make the cut? There's so much strategy going on. We could talk about it for an hour, but it's so unique to see these athletes kind of mold to this new format.
For sure. Let's take a look at the start list right now and try to pick out some of those names that we think might have a chance of moving up those rankings. Who stands out to you, Alan?
Man, they all stand out to me. I think Ben Thompson had a couple of little miscues. Obviously, Kaiden kind of having that foot slip on the first one. He's going to look to be getting a clean run from top to bottom. You know he's not going to want to leave here without that. Paul Couderc, Eric Fedko, they definitely had opportunities to step up a little bit. But then as we get down to Lucas Huppert, that's, I think, really the athlete that has the opportunity to step up.
Yeah, I'm thinking Jack Feick as well. I saw how well he was ranked for just one feature's worth of a trick that wasn't completed, and I think that hints at how much the judges like what he has in the tank. But Kaiden Ingersoll was the first name you listed when I said, who do you think has an opportunity to move up the rankings? And if you know anything about this kid, you know he has been working for this opportunity so hard. He threw it away in run number 1. Here we go, the last chance for Kaiden Ingersoll.
Starts out.
Oh no, come on.
It's another pedal slip right there. Only one tail on the 360 downside opposite. Let's see what he's got right here, coming back in. Big corked out 720. So he's playing catch up right now.
He carries on right
opposite 360 up. Flip bar spin down. Big 1 foot invert, huge impact as he comes back into this universe. Tuck no hander up, now off the surgeon's table. Big lofty backflip.
Big monkey off of the back of Kaiden Ingersoll after issues on the first feature in run number 1. He had issues here in run number 2 in the first feature. I thought he was going to throw it away 2 times in a row, but he salvaged. He got that foot back on the pedal. Probably not the dream tricks on either of the first 2 features, but I'm so glad he was able to put this one to the finish corral.
Yeah, you saw that just coming up maybe like 2 or 3 inches short, landing on the top of that knuckle, and it bounced his feet off the pedals again. Good recovery right here, but like you said, just getting to the bottom, getting that experience, that was sort of the goal for Kaiden out here this week.
Yeah, Kaiden coming off of a big injury sustained in New Zealand during what we used to call the off season, but now we always travel down to the Southern Hemisphere to ride more contests and do more training. But tibial plateau fracture, it's all plated up right now, but he's been charging to be back at his normal level for the past 6 months. So this is a big monkey off his back after being injured, not able to compete in Whistler last year, to just put one down and get a score and keep the season rolling for the next couple of events here for Kaiden Ingersoll. So a 62.75 gives him good enough for 10th place right now, but it's more just a momentum builder here for Kaiden.
Yeah, sort of a wind-up for the rest of the season, going into the playoffs and Silver Star and then the World Championships at Mont Saint Anne. Just getting through this contest is definitely going to help him.
Kind of cool thinking that all you have to do is make it to that World Championships, and even if you hadn't had a great season up until that point, you can still win one event and be the world champ. Thompson. Talk about climbing the ranks, man. We spoke about it briefly earlier, but Ben Thompson went from being one of those kids getting his hat signed in the finish corral to one of the top pros competing on the course. The youngster still out of Squamish, BC. He's competed in 4 Whistler slope styles now. We saw him drop a front flip off the final drop in run number 1. If anybody is going to get this crowd going, it's the local boy.
Yeah, Ben having a pretty solid first run, but definitely has room to improve. Back foot bar spin to tuck no-hander.
Oh, so clean.
360 bar spin to downside tail whip off the cannon into the 14er. Front flip tuck no-hander, 2 bar spin. Getting a triple combo in right there, 360 up, little front end high. Double down, double tail whip out. He's got that goofy footed tail whip style.
Yeah, he's been upping it here already in this run. Will he try to squeeze a combo in here at the final? Another clean front flip. Oh, almost losing it there. Muscling through. Talk about push-ups paying off.
Yeah, just holding on right there. You saw his left arm starting to collapse. That is not where you want to go over the bars, going about 40 miles an hour.
Yeah, such a small margin for error when you're front flipping off of a flat drop. A little bit of an over rotation, but yeah, enough shoulder strength to muscle through.
The difference in speed coming off of that surgeon's table to where you land is incredible.
Look how clean he was. I feel like it looks way too casual for what it is. There we go, adding the bar spin there after the fronty tuck.
See his head snapping to that landing as soon as he caught the bars.
Trying to remember what he had in run number 1. I think that is the main improvement, is squeezing that bar spin into that fronty tuck. Again, clean with that double whip down. Here's that over-rotated front flip, and barely too, still 2 tires touching down simultaneously. It's just that body weight was still leaning forward when he landed.
A little bit of relief right there, laying into the crowd. Cool to see.
A lot of bit of relief there.
We love to see Ben down here safe and sound, 2 runs in the bag. Yeah, that's huge. He just absorbs it all, taking in the moment in front of the home crowd. The judge is putting in work now as they look over.
So Ben Thompson looking to improve a 66.5 from run number 1. He's currently sitting in 9th place.
So he was a 66.5 on run 1, and this score coming in.
An 80.25 jumps him all the way to 7th place.
Yeah, digging deep and finding a way to improve that run has paid off. He moves up 3 spots into 7th.
Which feature is make or break today? Looks like everybody's on point. That first one, 80% of you out there are giving it to Cranky, the pedal in.
Yeah, we've seen that one claiming runs out there today. This is the rider who has positioned himself perfectly for run number 2. Tim Bringer currently sitting in 3rd. We were blown away when the young Aussie Dane Folpp knocked him out of that top spot. We weren't so surprised when David Godziek slotted into his comfort zone in the hot speed, but now Tim Bringer an opportunity to shake things up.
Yeah, this is going to be huge. 360 tail it, bar to bar, quadruple combo, just a straight flip off the cannon right there. See where his head's at. Double, single, backflip, tuck no hander. So yeah, he missed that trick off the cannon and knew too much to make up for it, up his first score. I like that. I like that.
Yeah, Tim Bringer, you know, with a perfect first run. No room for any mistakes if he wanted to improve that score, so he's doing this one for the fans. Tim Bringer is going to sit on that 89.75. The best he will do today is 3rd place.
If you had to guess, what was he looking for on that cannon?
Probably a handful of bar spins in that backflip.
Yeah, a couple elements in that one.
Potentially tuck no hander in that backflip, but after how perfect of a run one he had, you know, he knew that a straight backflip off the cannon wasn't going to contribute to a bigger score than an 89.75. He started out right on Cranky.
Yeah, held the pressure on Cranky right there with a 360 tail bar to bar. And right
he wanted the tuck for sure.
Yeah, he was starting to throw those bars into his lap. Maybe a tuck in with a bar spin out.
He was probably gonna hold those hands off until right before the landing. That's the way we see him do his flip tucks. Yeah, crazy to think though that everything we saw after that mistake was casual and easy for him. That's what he does in a throwaway run. That 450 table was to the moon.
Yeah, overall, just good to have Tim Bringer back out on the Crankworx World Tour.
And he's still sitting in 3rd too, so definitely a respectable score, respectable result. But there's a whole handful of riders who have the opportunity to knock him out of that podium spot. Griffin Paulson loves to send it for this Whistler crowd. Originally from Prince George.
This is a run too that I'm really excited about. So rare that we've seen him clean such a perfect first run that he has the opportunity to let loose. So let's see what he does.
He's doing really well this year. He had a 6th last week in the district ride. He's had 5th here a couple of years ago. Oh, he's going for it in this run.
360 double tail to start it off.
Oh yeah.
Front flip bar spin off the cannon, going deep. A little bit of a foot wobble.
Oh, he's not gonna have the speed. Yeah, that chicane section of berms right there leading into the 14-foot kicker. That's called Twisted Cistern. Griffin got all twisted up in there. You need to absolutely be pushing and railing through those berms to have enough speed for that gigantic next trick jump. Bummer, that one was off to a great start.
Yeah, it looked like he just went a little deep off the cannon, landing low on the transition, not generating enough momentum to be confident for the rest of the course.
And that was a massive 3 double whip to start things off though. Yeah, Griffin's like, you know what? I worked this hard to be here. The crowd is here. Let's see if I can find a spot to get some speed. Griffin Paulson all the way down into 9th position. That is as high as he will score here today, unfortunately. But you got to give it to him for going for it here in run number 2. Yeah, it's tough being stuck mid-course trying to find a spot to be able to roll in from. So he's going to call it a day right there, and we're going to shine the spotlight on this guy, Dane Folpp. he tasted for a brief moment what it's like to have your name at the top of the leaderboard here in Whistler. 19 years old from Australia. Climbing the ranks. We had him out in Europe last weekend at Red Bull District Ride, Groningen, Netherlands, showing how consistent he is here in the dual district out there. Watch him finish off with his 3-whip to bar on a really small jump. If he can do it off of a tiny little jump like that, imagine what he's capable of on these huge kickers here at Rhapsody Slopestyle. You see him going through the motions, hinting at what's to come in run number 2.
Dane currently in second place, dodging a few bullets early in the second round.
Yeah, and there's definitely bullets yet to be dodged here with riders like his best friend, Jack Feick, throwing it away on the first feature in run number 1. I have a feeling Dane has some ideas as to how he can improve his 92.5 from run number 1.
Yeah, we saw him there visualizing some of his big moves. That's what it takes at this level. You gotta turn your brain off, make it happen. Let's see what he's got.
It's gonna be good.
Oh! Front flip suicide, 2 bar spins, so already stepping it up, and then no, looks like right there.
Unable to get anything off the canister.
I guess it just kind of shows how on the edge these riders were when they stomp a clean and successful first run. Just pushing it that little bit further is beyond the limit of control and precision. I can't believe how quick that bar spin was after the Stewie on that front flip.
Yeah, normally we see riders that are doing suicide flips forward. They gotta have front brakes to stop the front wheel, but somehow he's pulling some magic and making it happen. And yeah, that bar spin was quick. Cool to see him though have that motivation to step up his game.
Watch when we get a replay how quick this bar spin comes after the Stewie no-hander. Pinches the seat, takes his hands off, chucks the bars. Let's see what happened. What went wrong there? It looked like maybe he just forgot, wait, what was I gonna do on this? I was so focused on the first trick.
Yeah, just maybe mistimed the pump a little bit, had so much focus on that first jump. One of the things that was cool right there as he was coming back on from the suicide no-hander during that front flip, he only touched the handlebar that he threw.
Katie, 7 riders left to go in run number 2 up there. How are the riders feeling?
They're good. They're really looking for more on this next run. I was stoked to see that Dane, I saw him hydrating between the runs and he was happy with his first one, so, you know, it's good to see. I think we're in for a good show.
No, I think so too. These next 7 riders are going to bring the heat. Thanks for the update. The next rider we have warming up in the gate. Looks like this is going to be Jack Feick. Thinking back to run number 1, Jack threw it away on the very first feature, going for, I believe it was an opposite truck to down whip. And I think if he's able to land that and complement it all the way down with regular versions of that trick and other opposites that he is capable of, this in particular is one that could threaten the podium. Jack Feick on course. Goes for the same trick, gets it!
Gets it right there.
Come on, Jack.
Nails
yes!
it right there, does it the other direction.
Instant compliment.
Back and forth, truck driver to downside tailwhooks, mixing up the directions.
Yeah.
Double flip
on,
right there, so it's on.
Building into this run, spins right
Opposite, 360 bar to bar back. 360 tail whip out, little wobble. Gets a double bar off. Come on, let's keep it together, Jack.
Don't throw it away, Jack. Come on.
Alley-oop tail whip, getting extra points on the way down. Looks like he's got a little bit of a headwind, so he's pedaling hard.
Jack Feick, backflip, bar spin to finish things up. That will shake things up. Huge run from the young Canadian Jack Feick.
The technicality of those first 2 obstacles, truck driver to downside whip, back and forth directions.
How about it? These kids growing up on opposite ends of this planet, but on the same trajectory, finding themselves at the Boneyard, Whistler Slopestyle in the same year. They push each other so much at every event. This is so cool to see both of them succeed here.
There it is, starting off with the opposite direction and then off the cannon. He does it his regular way. So massive. And then this double backflip, 1, spots the landing, 2,
staring at the landing after the first flip, knowing exactly how much time he has for the second flip.
Opposite 360 back and forth bar spin.
Oh, squeezing the double in there could be clutch, because as we've heard, it comes down to that sometimes.
The alley-oop tail whip on that turnaround, and then he did a backflip bar spin off of the surgeon's table. Huge trick, massive commitment.
Jack, you put all the pressure on yourself for that run two after bobbling on the first jump in run number one. How nervous were you to drop in for that one?
I was so scared, but I was so ready to drop in ever since I messed up that first one. I was so ready to get back on course.
You packed so much into that run. What was the most difficult trick in your eyes?
Switch truck downing 100%. Not even close, bro.
You started the run, very first feature, with the most technical trick. I can't wait to see how much the judges reward you for that run. You balanced it out right away, and you finished with that backflip bar spin off the flat drop. How much more difficult is it to do that off of a flat drop than a jump?
It's quite a bit more difficult. You have to pull way harder. It's crazy on this one too, because it's so big. You have to like yank and then like let the spin die almost so that you can not over rowy, but it's crazy. It's fun.
The amount of stuff that you packed into, I don't know, under a minute worth of mountain bike riding is blowing my mind right now. Hey, let's get ready for that score. Jack, you did your job. Way to go.
Thank you, Cam.
Can you imagine just remembering all the things in that run, trying to visualize all 9 tricks?
I like that, looking at what his trick plans were, and he knew that he had one trick that stood out above the rest as far as technicality, and like, well, let's just do it on the hardest first jump.
I mean, the judges typically reward that as well. They're, you know, risking the entire run by doing the most challenging trick on the first feature. Yeah, they're looking for trick variety. They're looking at the execution of those tricks. They're looking at the amplitude, how high above the lip the trick is performed at, because that hints at bike skills, the ability to carry speed through corners and over rollers. Oh my goodness. So, Jack Feick needs to beat an 85.25, sorry, he needs to beat an 89.75 to knock Tim Bringer out of third place for medal contention. He needs to beat a 94.5 to move into the lead. You know what, this is a rider who very much has a similar trick choice to, you know, the greatest to ever do it, Emil Johansson. I know Jack has been studying Emil's riding and really using him as inspiration, and this is the type of run that we've seen do well over the years in the Emil era. So it's really interesting to see what the judges are going to do with this one.
Yeah, I mean, just touch on the technicality of being able to do those high-level tricks going both directions. It's almost impossible to describe, but the best I can do is they weren't even doing that in my time.
For sure, that's a new style, but I was just thinking how funny it would be if he was down there signing autographs with his opposite hand. I feel like that we're going to see at some point, we're going to enter an era where there's some rider who does that. Okay, it looks like we have the score coming in for Jack Feick. Obviously, he will improve his run 1 score because run 2 was an absolute certified banger. Here we go, score coming in, an 88 flat, just outside of the podium into 4th place. And for the first year here in Whistler for Jack Feick, he is stoked. So consistent. He was 4th at District Dry last weekend. Yeah, this kid is here to stay. Paul Couderc with a great first run. All the way down into 9th place right now with a 78. What do you think Paul's got up his sleeve?
We saw him start off with a huge opposite cork 720. We know he's got that trick mixing up in multiple directions. See where you can put it together and orchestrate a run to come up that leaderboard.
All right, Paul Couderc with another chance to move up from 9th.
Yeah, absolutely. There he is right there with that huge corked out 720 with an opposite direction backflip bar to bar. Look at the height he is generating out of this course. Massive.
Oh, come on. Oh, no, no, no.
under rotating that double flip.
Man, it's so rare you see him have a mistake on a double flip.
Definitely rung his bell a bit on that one.
Oh, man, yeah. You need to be railing those berms, so you need to land that cannon high, be able to ride the berms high, and pump into that 14-foot tall kicker. Paul coming up short on the distance.
See scrapes on the top of his hands. That's the sign. He did not even see that coming. The rotation is so fast. Usually you only see the landing just before you hit the ground. And unfortunately, it was just a bit short.
Yeah, that front tire just making contact with the knuckle, that case deck on the top of the landing. Just going for a full face and belly slide down the entire landing. Well, it's good to see Paul alert and chatting with the medical staff right now. We're going to see a replay of this double flip, 1-foot can gone wrong.
Yeah, we were talking about amplitude.
Oh yeah, that was a heavy impact with his face. You know, watch when he gets a view of the landing after the second flip, it instantly, before he even gets a chance to see what's coming, he is in the dirt.
The definition of a dirt nap.
Yeah, do not like seeing Paul go down. Hopefully he's able to take inventory of the body right now, and hopefully there's not too much damage. But that one will reboot your computer a little bit. What am I here? What am I doing? And that's why every rider out here in the field is wearing those full face helmets. There we go. Crowd getting loud for Paul Couderc, back on his 2 feet now.
Yeah, looking a little pale right there. That's a big sign of a TKO, technically knocked out.
Yeah. Well, looking forward to catching up with Paul later today. Glad to see him up, but 100% bummed to see him go down. Yeah, Paul definitely inspecting that left wrist right there. He didn't even really get a chance to kind of brace for impact, did he?
No, he was still pulling for the double when that front tire caught the knuckle.
Yeah, you see these riders stomp double flips and make it look so easy, and it's little reminders like that that allow everybody the perspective of how difficult all these tricks are that the riders are performing out here today. So the crowd giving support to Paul Couderc as we get a glimpse. Eric Fedko loaded in the start hut for run number 2. Fedko getting his first major Crankworx Slopestyle World Tour win earlier this year, Christchurch, New Zealand. It's been a long process, a long quest for Eric Fedko in search of that win. 3 seconds, 4 thirds. One of those thirds was right here in Whistler last year. Fedko dropping a great film project, 23-minute film on YouTube. Go check that out. Eric Fedko fans, you're gonna love that project. And he showed us what he's made of in run number 1. And we know Fedko's the guy who can always add a variation in run number 2. Started run number 1 with that 3 down whip to seat grab Indian air, pointing his feet straight at the sky. Always tough to drop after you see your buddy go down too.
Yeah, definitely a bit of a mood killer, having to bring that urgency back into his mentality. Remember how he started off in that first run, and here we go.
All right, Eric Fedko dropping in.
Gets that 3 down whip right there. Didn't quite get the seat grab Indian off of it.
Oh
man, 360 tail whip to cranked invert off the cannon. Double backflip.
That
with
takes
a
some
tuck
guts.
no-hander right in the middle of it. Flip whip up. Double truck to X up out. Nice 450.
Really high.
Yeah, amplitude is definitely what he is good at. Alley-oop whip. Opposite tail whip.
Oh,
I
he wanted
think
to
he was
try.
looking for some bar spin there. So a little bit left on the table, but a solid run for Eric Fedko.
Fedko sitting on an 85.25 from a stellar run 1. Some moments of brilliance there in run number 2, but missing that truck driver off the final drop is not going to help him improve that score. But there was moments of brilliance here. Missing the seat grab Indy on that one, but you know, to its own credit, it's still a 3 down whip. But this, a 3 whip, catching pedals and cranking a flat inverted table. And it's got to take some guts to go for a double flip off of the same jump you just saw your buddy crash on.
Yeah, you gotta be able to turn it off in this sport. See a little frustration in Fedko.
He might have wanted a triple truck out of the whale tail too.
Yeah, it just wasn't up to what he was hoping. I think his intensity and everything was a little bit wound down after that break. But the season's not over yet. We're gonna see Fedko some more this year.
All right, Fedko getting that DNI. He will not improve that 85.25, so his job today is done. He gets to just cheer on his friends, next of which is going to be Chance Moore.
Chance Moore, one of the riders that I feel has an opportunity to up his score in this second run.
So Chance Moore showing what he's made up this season, especially with that big win in Slovakia. We asked him about it earlier. Have a listen.
Slovakia this year was awesome. I really threw down some of my biggest, best tricks. One being the fronty whip, that's only been done by Nicholi Rogatkin. And I also hit the front flip bar spin on the flat drop, which led me to the victory. And now we're out here at Whistler, so we're looking to enjoy, we're looking to have an amazing time, and we're going to send as hard as we can again, so let's get it.
A lot of ammunition to foreshadow what this run might contain. He hints at some there. He can do fronty bars off of flat drops. He can do front flip tail whips off of straight jumps. He also showed us a cork 7 tail up in Rotorua earlier this season. Let's see what he can do here. Chance Moore dropping in.
Right there, gets that opposite cork 720, lands a little bit flat, can he recover?
What?
Gets the flip tail whip off, switching it, yeah, switch tail whip. So difficult.
Oh, not enough speed. I can't believe that rear tire is still holding the air.
How did he get off of that cannon?
Yeah, it's not going to improve the 87.5, but I cannot believe he linked those first 2 tricks.
Yeah, under-rotated a little bit, knifed that rear tire into that opposite cork 720. Was still somehow able to get that flip opposite whip off.
Yeah, so many of these second runs, you know, it's the thought that counts. You see what they're going for, but they push it just a little bit too far. He knows he could have potentially won this competition today, or at least cracked the podium. He had big plans for that run. You can tell by the body language.
Yeah, I think Ben just confirmed, like, were you gonna do this? And he's like, yeah.
Okay, watch the landing here, loses so much speed. How did he get this backflip opposite tail up off of the cannon?
Yeah, catching the pedals so perfect on that. That was the recovery of the day, but unfortunately, it just added up to too much speed loss when he came out of the S-turns. That 14-foot lip, you gotta have speed to get up that.
Yeah, so Chance Moore not improving. He will ride that 87.5 into the final results. Well, score to beat right now is a 94.5. Let's take a look back at David Godziek's first run.
Yeah, always clean. David Godziek starting off huge with the cash roll tail whip, straight into a triple tail whip off of the cannon. Keeping his feet up right there. That was the difference for him, as he mentioned in his interview. And there, the backflip bar spin off the flat drop. We've heard the riders talking about how hard that is to get that rotation going and get that snap.
Well, we talked to the judges as well, and they let us know that they're really rewarding and loving those complex rotations. We saw David Godziek's run have a twister, a front cork 1080 no-hander. So the judges are loving those categories of moves right now, and we got a rider coming up who thrives off of those moves as well. Nicholi Rogatkin, the Twister master, has been on a tear this season. You see him dropping that cork 720 over the step down to start his run in Rotorua, New Zealand. And he's had podium perfection at 3 of the big events so far this year. The only one he missed a podium at was District Ride last weekend. And that was, because there's a little bit different format out there, they trimmed the field going into the final runs. He was just outside the bubble. And we've been talking about his focus coming into today. We saw that lead to a spotless first run. Nicholi sitting in 7th right now with an 82.
Good to go? Stop it.
Here we go. Nicholi Rogatkin.
There's the twister. Off that first set, straight into the triple tail whip on the cannon. So difficult.
It was a double in run number 1.
And there's the cash roll tail whip, stepping it up.
Deep.
Where else is he going to step up this game? Backflip up, cash roll out. A little bit offline, gets the Superman. Oh, yes, to it, Nicholi.
Good save.
Even gets the downside tail whip. How did he have the speed to do that? 360 up.
Oh, come on,
double tail box.
Yes, Nicholi. Oh, that was on the edge.
On the edge, drifting out of that flat drop double tail whip. So much stoke into the finish corral.
You want to know why he's a fan favorite?
Nobody feeds off the crowd in the excitement of a slopestyle competition like Nicholi Rogatkin.
Oh man!
What happened on the hip? I didn't see. Bro, I can't believe I didn't crash.
Yeah.
I can't believe I didn't crash. Yes!
Not only I can't believe that he didn't crash, but he's still got the downside whip on the quarter pipe.
You know how much energy he would have burned saving that sketchy landing on the C-Crab, Indian Air blasted out of the 90 hip.
There's the off-axis 1080 twister to start it off, and then the triple tail whip right there.
Yeah, so run number 1 had a double whip off of the cannon and a double whip off the final drop. So not only did he better the trick on the cannon, but he made it so there wasn't a repeat trick on 2 features. Here's the hip. This is what he was talking about.
Just kind of gets floaty and stuck right there. The back end started dropping in, but somehow able to save it.
His feet didn't touch the ground either. Look at how late he gets the pedals.
Drift a little bit left. Able to hold on to it. So much stoke from Nicholi Rogatkin.
Just the perfect entertainment value we've come to expect out of Nicholi Rogatkin.
Just absolutely riding the lightning all the way down there. We're looking at that round 1 score, 82 there. Crazy P getting the crowd fired up.
He improves just by 1.5 points, but still sitting in 7th place right there. Not enough of an improvement to move. Oh, listen to the crowd. Whoa. Oh, guys.
Bro, that was so good.
What's that like?
Judge sport.
Nicholi receiving some love.
People's champ, man.
To the crowd to engage with the fans. These fans, generations of fans have fallen in love with this man as he continues to deliver some of the most incredible moments.
Fuck them, bro. Fuck them. Fuck them.
We're hearing some opinions from Nicholi Rogatkin down in the finish corral. We definitely heard some opinions from the crowd.
Yeah, interesting. So much goes into it. There's no right answer.
We know what the vibe's like in the finish corral. We know what the vibe's like in the audience. Katie, what's it like at the top right now with 2 riders left to go?
Well, Huppert in particular has a lot at stake. He's been resetting after his first run, getting hydrated. He's been doing his press-ups. He is fully locked in because if he scores 4th or better on this run, he scores his seat straight to the SSL finals in Mont Saint Anne.
Ooh, yeah, Katie, you've been doing the math. Thanks for that information out there. So much more at play this season than just the results at each individual event. The riders trying to earn their spot into the World Championship event at Mont Saint Anne. As she said there, Huppert needing to finish 4th or better. Right now, Lucas Huppert is sitting in 12th place, AKA last place. So he really needs to pull something out right now in run number 2.
Yeah, so difficult, the long wait between first and second runs when you don't have a solid run. That's where strategy is coming into play. We heard from Katie. You know he's going to leave it all on this course. What's he got?
Oh, yeah.
Front flip, bar to bar. A little bit loose, but he's able to correct. Gets a 360 bar to bar off the cannon.
On the cannon.
There's a huge floaty cash roll, a little bit over-rotated, but making good recoveries on the way down. Tail whip up here.
Oh, still a straight flip.
Bar to bar on the hip, so pretty reminiscent of that first run so far. But we know he's got some big flat drop tricks. What's he gonna do here? Tail whip up, 360 off.
360 down. Yeah, we've seen some big moves off of flat drops from Lucas Huppert in the past, most notably 360 tail up. So we were expecting some bigger moves out there, especially off of the whale tail and the final drop. Not sure if it's going to be enough here to move Hoopy into one of those top 4 spots. He may be looking at Silver Star for another opportunity to get that invite into the World Championships.
Yeah, I think at this point it could be an advantage for him to kind of regroup mid-season, get a solid finish in when he goes to Silver Star. Taking a look back up at his run, I didn't really see anything terribly off. I think he wanted a triple there. And just sometimes when you don't hit that trick that's in your mind, it just gets you second guessing the rest of the way down.
How much style was there on that cash roll though? He has some of my favorite cash rolls, just super lazy, slow rotation. It's fun to watch where his eyes are looking. Those front cork 720s. Came into this day ranked number 2 in the world. He was looking good at having a spot in the World Championships, but I believe he's getting bumped down here. He had a 3rd at District Ride just last weekend. It's been a busy couple weeks for these riders. And a 2nd in Rotorua earlier.
He's sitting in 2nd right now, so he's looking to cement that position at the end of the.
So yeah, still down at 12, improves his score, but not enough to move up the rankings. Yeah, vote now for your rider of the day. Choose any of the riders you've seen in our field of 12 for the men or our field of 3 for the women. I know this poll is just for the men right here, so you got that code A for Kaiden Ingersoll and so on. We'll be giving away Crankworx shirt and socks to a winner who participates in our poll. But I mean, hey, guess what this means right here? David Godziek is gonna get another win out here in Whistler. The 2024 World Champion won this event 2 years ago, is gonna do it again here in 2026. Get ready for a victory lap from your champion, David Godziek.
Godziek locking in his #1 seed going into the World Championship in Mont Saint Anne. He'll get to rest a little bit. Skipping Silver Star. So much confidence in this guy all weekend long. I know we were joking about the white pants and white shoes, but just the confidence he carries into his runs, I think helps him so much mentally. He is locked in.
For David Godziek, ladies and gentlemen.
Giving the crowd a nice little show. Tuck no-handers, keeping it smooth. This is the best song to enter the village in. If anybody's Iron Man out there, it's David Godziek.
Yeah, one thing about David Godziek is he's obviously strong on the bike. You know, technically proficient. He's a deep bag of tricks, but just his mental strength is unreal to be able to deal with the pressure of Whistler Slopestyle and drop that run in run #1. Let's take a look back at our winning run. David Godziek, wall-to-wall bangers in run 1.
Starting off with that cashy tail whip, and then 3 times around off of the cannon. Tuck no-hander to bar spin, landing really high up on that transition, fixing up the little things, and then this. Nothing little about that. Backflip bar spin off the surgeon's table. Unbelievable run right there, and it was enough. It was exactly what he needed to take the win out here today. Getting mobbed by the kids down at the bottom. Look at the crowd, looks like water running down a creek.
Hey, David, congratulations on taking another win here on the Boneyard here in the prestigious Whistler Slopestyle. Obviously, this is an incredibly physically demanding event, but with all the festivities going on for the entire week out here in Whistler, how much more mentally taxing is this one compared to some other slopestyle events?
Just Whistler, it's the most important location of mountain biking, so yeah, it's just super stressful, super important. So I'm super happy to take the win.
Yeah, are you looking forward to having a competition off when we go into Silver Star, having that #1 seed into the World Championships?
I need to skip Silver Star. I really wish everyone else competing there to do well and have fun. I'm gonna be sitting at the couch watching.
Yeah, absolutely. You've earned yourself that right. You have a bye through the playoffs. You're straight to the World Championships in Mont Saint Anne. What are you gonna do between now and then?
Definitely gonna ride some bikes and do a little vacation. So I will try to balance both.
Well, good. Enjoy the well-earned vacation. And Whistler, let's make some noise for your champion, David Godziek.
Yeah. Thank you.
Congrats, man. Yeah, every event you go to this season, he is the most calm, cool, collected. He's got the ability to kind of just focus on the task at hand more than I think anybody, and it really does pay off. No way. Okay, we'll talk about that later. We're gonna see Wendy giving David his second Crankworx Slopestyle gold medal now. Transitioning out of being a BMX X Games gold medalist to now, just the man to be when it comes to mountain bike slopestyle. Ranked #1 in the world coming into today's event, and that will not change after our results are tallied right now and we take another look at our Slopestyle Super League world standings. So final results for today. Look at that, Jack Feick able to move his way all the way up into 4th place in his second run.
Yeah, Dane Folpp, one of our new fresh faces, landing in 2nd place right there. Huge, huge day for him.
And those two 19-year-olds making it into the top 4, both of them. Insane to think we're gonna get to see them compete at the World Championships. That's gonna be great.
Nicholi Rogatkin right there finishing in 7th place. His fire is absolutely lit for Silver Star. He wanted more.
What do you think the comments are gonna look like when we kind of take a peek at those after the event? Do you think there's gonna be anybody talking about Nicholi?
Maybe.
Maybe there's a chance. So here's the Slopestyle Super League standings with today's event results tallied into the mix. David Godziek still the #1 ranked rider in the world, but the real story is the cutoff there, the top 3 securing their spots into the final. So Nicholi Rogatkin, sure, he finished 7th, and that's not, what we come to expect from Nicholi Rogatkin, but he secured himself a spot into Mont Saint Anne.
Yeah, huge, huge. I think maybe there would have been a couple of less F-bombs if he knew that in the moment. Kind of the mission accomplished. Maybe he lost, the fight, but the war is still going on here, which is rare for after Whistler.
Winner of the day there, David Godziek, but we asked you, our viewers, to weigh on who you think your favorite rider of the day is. Hey, I don't think we're gonna have any surprises here. Let's take a look at the results. Drum roll, please. Rider of the day is going to be none other than this man right here, as voted by you, Nicholi Rogatkin, the people's champion, dropping the hammer in run #1, up in the ante in run #2. And I think those are the loudest boos I've ever heard, as we've got a score in from the judges in the past 2 decades of Whistler slopestyle.
Yeah, 76% of the votes right there. The crowd definitely giving Nicholi that support.
All right, Alan, this is so cool. We, at the top of the show, mentioned that we're going to be giving away a Crankworx Whistler t-shirt and some Crankworx Whistler socks. We've also talked a lot about the fact that we've been doing this for so many years. We've had so many slopestyle riders come and go over the years. And this right here, the winner of our merch giveaway, is a name that we know and love from past Whistler Slopestyles. Hey, congratulations, old buddy. Sam Dewick, 2216 username. It's got to be the Sam Dewick we know. You won yourself a Crankworx shirt. Bye-bye. We're going to mail that off to you. It won't have to go far. You're just down the road. Congratulations, Sam Dewick, on taking that. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, that just shows how long this has been going on.
Yeah, for sure. Katie's been hanging out at the top of the course all day. Hey, Katie, what's up? Thanks so much for being kind of our ears and eyes on the ground up there at the start. What are your final thoughts from today's competition?
I just think it was such an incredible show, and I'm so grateful to have me on. I'm really excited for Silver Star next week to see who is going to be joining for finals in Mont St. Anne. So it's all to play for.
For sure, it really is, and it's kind of exciting too. You know, nobody's running away with the world title. It's all going to come down in, you know, kind of a Super Bowl style, one event, winner take all. And it was exciting to see these riders really fight for the opportunity to compete at that. The riders who weren't in the top 3 from our overall World Tour rankings from, you know, today, after the rankings have been updated with the Rhapsody results, they will have the opportunity to go to Silver Star, that Vernon, BC slope course designed and built by none other than Brett Reeder. It is definitely one of the best courses on the tour, and it'll be fun to watch the rest of the riders duke it out for their invite into the World Champs.
Yeah, definitely. We had a few of the big names in the female category not competing here today, so it'll be nice to see them come back, get warmed up. They got the World Championship still to come, so it's not over for them at all.
Yeah, you know, that's just next weekend. So slopestyle fans, keep it locked on the Crankworx social media sites to see updates on that and follow along to see who makes it into the World Championships. So we've got 2 more slopestyle events to go on the 2026 World Tour, but we're already starting to talk about 2027 event dates set for New Zealand. Let's take a look.
Welcome to New Zealand, one of the best events all year. It's perfect! Oh man! To the moon! Missions are dialed, the riders are dialed, let's do this. Game on.
It is on into the hot seat.
This is going to be insane.
She'll be able to keep rolling. Perfection.
Whoa, that was perfect!
And oh my God!
Oh, bro!
Oh my God, he goes so far!
Well, that caps off another great week in Whistler. We're usually putting a bow on the season when we finish up the slopestyle here on Slopestyle Sunday, but there's still more to come. We got Silver Star and Mont St. Anne, and we're already getting excited for next season. We got to thank all of you out there for coming and joining our broadcast today, and those of you who joined us for Downhill a couple days ago. For Alan Cook and Katie Winton, I've been Cam McCall. You've been the best viewers in the world. Thanks for joining us here at Crankworx Whistler. We will see you in Mont St. Anne. Good night.
Yeah, we going up. Ain't nothing on top of us. Yeah, we're rising above. Ain't nobody stopping us. Nothing can get in our way. Anything they throw at is not even an obstacle. Years in the making to get to this moment. But now it's impossible. Yeah, it's my time to get it. My time to kill it. Let's get down to business. Yeah, it's my time to get it. My time to kill it. Let's get down to business. What you know about them nights up in the trenches? I was